Hello, and welcome to Baby That's Cont, Traitor Edition.
I'm Joseph, the traitor who's the girl next door.
And I'm Kip, your treacherous trollop.
Oh, spicy today.
Spicy today. I'm feeling pretty good.
Love that journey for you.
Yes, and for everyone, hopefully. Um, this was a great episode, which
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I was worried it was gonna be bad after Carolyn left.
true, but they really just moved right on without her.
Yeah, I know, it is. Like, it was a great episode across the board, in spite of a lot of things that happened.
True. Um, I thought the major themes this week were obviously Brittany and Danielle's drama, the will they, won't
Yes.
they, screw each other over. And then maybe, I don't know if everybody's picked up on this theme, but it's been a theme throughout the entire series so far, season, which has been the traitors absolutely gaslighting and screwing over Dylan to get what they want. But let's see, maybe he'll take a stand this week.
Yeah, we will see. I agree.
Foreshadowing.
I agree with that. Um, well, so last week we had ended with the pending recruitment slash. Wait, what's the word? Ultimatum.
Yeah. Different show, but the word is correct still.
Yes. Um, and Danielle reveals to Brittany that she is a traitor, and she tells Danielle, or she tells Brittany, "You have to join me, or I will murder you." I just am so torn on Danielle because it's like moments like this where her acting is so bad, and she just does not give good TV in these moments where she has to be like she's not a good actress, I think.
Yeah. I could agree with that. However, she is a grandma, so I'm going to give her a pass.
Wait, how old is she?
I don't know, but she said that she really wanted to win the money so to help her grandkids.
Okay.
She
I
was
think
on
of her as being
season
like 50.
could be grandma age,
Of course. Oh, she's
like
53.
25 and 25. That's not too bad. She was on season 3 of Big Brother, I think. So I don't know how old that places her, but we just found out her age, so it doesn't matter anyways. That's just a fun fact for you, the listener slash
I
viewer.
thought it was fun.
I thought it was a fact. It's probably wrong. It's probably not even true.
Oh my god. Well, so Brittany accepts immediately, and she reveals that she has been suspicious of Danielle this whole time and thinks Danielle has been protecting her in the game.
Yes.
Do you think that's
I
true?
I think it's true, personally. Because I don't think Brittany's come for Danielle yet, so I think she's just been riding that traitor protection path the whole way through.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that makes
they
sense.
So I found out more about the beef because I thought it was necessary to fully unpack this episode.
Please.
So it turns out they were never on an original season of Big Brother, which you were correct on, but they were friends through the Big Brother network. So they were friends before they went on reindeer games together. And then Brittany put Danielle in the game, which got her sent home. And that's what kicked off the feud because they were friends outside of the game. And then
Oh.
Brittany screwed her over in the game.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I do think it said that they kind of like everybody else kind of like hyped Brittany into doing it and saying that Danielle was going to screw her over and she had no choice, which might be a theme of Brittany getting talked into doing things that are bad for her game.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that's what happened, and Danielle was obviously pissed. So that's what brings us to here, where the famous parking lot. issue happened.
Okay, that makes sense. Good background.
Thank you.
So Danielle and Brittany are now traitors, and what I thought was really funny, I just assumed they were gonna stay in the dungeon and talk about it, but no, they make the move to the turret to decide.
Yeah.
um, so we then move to the turret, and they basically talk about the whole game and what's gone down, and decide who to murder. They make it clear that Dylan and Dolores are their favorites, and they have to or keep them alive. So that leaves us with Ivar and Tom and Gabby as potential murderees.
Yeah. Who would you have picked?
Um, Gabby, I think. It's easy to say now because we know that Gabby's a real threat. But I do think Gabby was being very smart even before this. And Tom and Dolores are both so dumb and we're so focused on going after the other. That like keeping them in the game I don't think was like a bad thing for them.
Yeah.
Who would you have
That's
murdered?
true. Personally, I would have went with Ivar since he is like the true faithful of the group.
Yeah.
I think keeping Tom and Dolores around is just good chaotic energy to keep just messing around with the group.
Yeah. I had thought that Ivar was obviously a faithful too. I didn't think anyone had anything on him at all. And so that's where this
Yeah.
episode becomes shocking.
True. Well, yeah, I think, I mean, so let's just say like they murdered Tom, right?
Yeah.
I think that they were trying to hopefully try to pin it on Dolores because I don't know why else they would pick Tom. But clearly, Dolores already had her sights set on someone new.
Yeah. Well, Brittany, one of the things she tells Danielle as like a new traitor is that Tom and Gabby were both really onto her and really going after her the day before. So
Yeah,
that is information that informs who they're gonna murder. Like it narrows it down to the two.
that means they should have picked Gabby, I think.
Yeah,
Because no one
100%.
likes or believes Tom. So if you take out Gabby,
I know, but you can't tell that to Tom.
yeah, they probably just didn't want to eliminate another woman because of the woman theory.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so we cut to Tom's confessional where he finds out he's murdered. Did you laugh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could not believe.
Okay, but he also says, of course I was murdered. I was the most threatening guy in the group, which is not true.
I know. I bet he fully thought he was gonna win. Like he thought he was the best player.
Yeah, he's a delusional person who does not live in the real world, but the rest of us.
Yeah. It is
um,
interesting he made it this far though.
yeah, but like, I don't know. It truly feels to me like sheer dumb luck because he wasn't a
Fair.
threat to anybody.
Yeah. They just kept him along as like a sheep to slaughter later, really.
Yeah. And he literally says, it's really cool that I was so good at this game. It was so cringy to me and funny.
Yeah, he did give us good TV, so I'll let him have that one.
It was definitely like for him as a human being, it was definitely a redemptive season, at least in terms of like I don't know. I think he's always going to be able to be on TV as like someone to laugh at, which he needs the money. So a win
Yeah.
for him overall, I'll say.
Uh did you catch at breakfast Alan absolutely dragging him?
Yeah,
Tom, for once, you were actually faithful.
it's so good. And clearly they wrote that line the second he was cast.
Yes.
Oh my god, it was excellent.
Iconic.
Um, and so, okay, so then as part of their plan to murder Tom, they also agree that they're gonna, like, there's heat on Gabby, and they're gonna do everything they can to get Gabby banished tonight. And Danielle goes, "You work your side of the castle, I'll work my side of the castle."
Okay. Bunny Ranch vibes.
Yeah, like I didn't realize the castle was so divided.
I know. All six of them left.
I
Right.
know.
A lot of
Oh
work.
my
You got to
god.
split it up.
Yeah, 100%. So we see a bunch of different chats now. Like everybody is scurrying around, commiserating. Danielle and Dolores chats. Dolores tells us that she trusts Danielle 100%, which is classic Dolores. Um, Dylan says he's really torn between Danielle and Gabby, but Ivar and Dylan chat, and Dylan and Ivar agree that it's Danielle as their target for the evening. Um, at this point, and we then head to the mission.
I heard some people really loved the mission and some people didn't.
Okay, well, I watched the episode a second time last night because I'm prepared for my podcast some days.
I thought you were trying to read me. I was like,
No, reading me. I mean, I'm always prepared, but I don't know. Sometimes you watch the episode, you wander a little bit. Not this week. I watched it twice, and I paid a lot of attention both times.
excellent.
The mission was not good upon second view.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I mean, so the episode is titled Power of the Seer, and we knew from last week that there was going to be a seer revealed.
Yeah.
And then the mission is where Alan gives the full story of the seer, which is that whoever banks the most money for the prize pot will become the seer, and they'll have the power to see if the contestant of their choice is a traitor or a faithful.
Yeah. Which is pretty powerful, but then you have to remember that no, like if you try to tell anybody else, they have no reason to believe you.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary to
The
win.
only thing I think Dylan pegged it right. He said like the best thing you could do is confirm another faithful to work with you. But even that faithful has no reason to trust you. So it's still tough.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Dylan has the game pretty figured out. Like I think he knows Ivar is a faithful, so that's someone he can work with. And then I think he by the end of this episode is pretty convinced Gabby is a faithful. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there's people you could work with.
I mean, there's always the question, is it traitor on traitor action now?
Permanent question. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
Um,
So I actually liked the first game of the three. Although
the
it really
clown.
pissed me off that I think they all played it wrong.
How would you have played it?
Because to me, it's a statistics game. Like, I think it's unreasonable that you're really going to memorize which clowns have the right ones. Like, maybe you remembered one because you followed them through the dance. But at the end of the day, it's like, there's what, 10 gold balloons, 5 black balloons. If you get a black balloon, you're out. So they ended playing the game when the odds were still 50-50 to get a gold balloon, which I thought was stupid.
Yeah.
You want to keep going if the odds are still decently in your favor.
Who was the first person to bail?
Um well, Dylan got out immediately,
I
and
know.
then the first person to bail I think was Danielle or Gabby.
No. I think Gabby bails first. And then
Yeah.
Danielle decides not to go for a second one because she wants to, she says, protect her identity, even though, like, it made no sense to me. If you know where another gold balloon is, that is a good thing to do no matter what your role is.
Because you're getting money also for the pot, right?
Correct.
So yeah,
You would just say, nobody would even ask you, but you would even just say, I knew where a gold balloon was and I wanted to add more money to the pot.
yeah, agreed.
So, yeah, we move on to a dolls themed segment. Um, this was the most boring of the three parts of the mission, obviously.
Yeah, it had a lot of tension, but the way that they edited it, and put it together kind of drew the tension away.
Yeah.
I didn't like
So,
also that everybody's doll had a different amount, like that it was willing to go up to.
I mean, it's a little unfair in some ways, but at the same time, I don't know, like, if everyone's just went up to $2,000, I don't know how that would work either.
Yeah, I wish there was like one doll and they all had to take turns pulling or something, and then you could bow out when you wanted to, and then whoever pulls the last one gets nothing.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should have been that, or it would have had to be something totally different. Like maybe you spin a blind wheel and there's like, say, 20 pieces it can land on, and some of them have money and some of them have you're out.
Yeah, but
But then they wouldn't have been able to have creepy dolls.
sure.
um, okay. Did you want to go through who wins how much?
It's like Danielle got the most money, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the rest because it was frankly unmemorable.
Yeah, it was boring. I know. I didn't remember anything.
I think Ivar was too greedy. And
And Dylan was too, right?
yeah, he had nothing to lose because he had no money.
Right, so he just kept going and
Yeah.
he lost. Okay, so we know Dylan's not going to be the seer, which is hilarious because to me it was set up as if he would be.
Yeah, I think that would have given him too much power in the game.
Yeah, agreed. Um okay, and then we move to part 3 of the mission where there are bags filled with what Dylan says is literal shit that they have to open these bags and like pull apart the poop to find gold
Yeah.
coins. Um and at one point Dylan gets some on his face, which is like a thumbs down for his attractiveness factor.
Yeah.
um
I thought it was really funny that Gabby used the words clean out to describe looking for the coin in the poop. Uh, and then when it landed on Dylan's face, was like, oh, they did not clean out properly.
yeah. She had the funniest confessional. She goes, "My manicure is devastated."
This was a really good Gabby episode.
Oh my god, I learned more about Gabby's backstory. Do you know her backstory?
I know the highlights.
I didn't know anything about her before this show, and frankly, until last night.
Well, she's an icon.
Yeah, so she was an NFL cheerleader for 5 years, and then she was an ER nurse, and then she went on The Bachelor, and then she became the Bachelorette, and
Icon.
then she became a lesbian.
Twist of the century.
And so that I think it makes more sense why she and Chriselle and their like Bambi posse. It's like people who turned into lesbians.
People who had such a bad experience with men that they are turned off forever.
Yeah, 100%.
Amazing.
So that was all really funny and interesting to me to learn. Hopefully that's
Yeah.
true because it was told to me by Brendan.
I do know that to be the T.
Oh, good. Anything I missed?
Um, that's all I got.
Okay. Okay. So then this is where to me the show was a tiny bit of a miss because the mission ends. They don't tell us. It's not clear at all who did a good job getting gold coins, and we have zero idea who Seer is, other than like it was clear Danielle was in the lead going into the third part of the mission.
Yeah. I think that we have no clue, but I would think the contestants might know
Well,
based on
surely
being
not all of
there.
them.
Well,
I don't
because
think
Dylan
Dolores has an
all
idea.
I don't know. I think she could be. I think she's going to be an integral part of the end game here.
Okay, later on, there's that moment where Gabby reads her to filth and goes, "Come on, Dolores, can you count? It's not that hard. We're counting to 6. That's not that high."
Amazing.
So I don't know if she could count to
Uh,
250.
true. But like, say Dylan, who's literally already out of the running, all he has to do is like pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, I wonder, like, they really were trying to hide this mission from us, this third part. I wonder if you could
Yeah,
put your gold coins in someone else's basket.
I thought that too. But that would look really suspicious. I think.
Not for Dylan, who had $0 going in. Like, if he was
I
doing
guess.
that, it would look like, I mean, frankly, the only logical thing. It just depends who he would put them in.
Yeah. He clocked though that Danielle seemed to be playing too hard, which they started the episode, Brittany and Danielle saying, we have to get the heat off Danielle. So then it's like, why not let Brittany push for it, the win, instead
Yeah,
of Danielle?
that's a good point. Although, a little bit of it was out of their hands with the baby doll situation.
Well, Danielle could have stopped going earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
So I think that's the part that Danielle is missing. That also I think Boston Rob missed is like the games within the games. Because the challenges are really just designed to like throw suspicion on people. It's not really like, to me, like an integral part of the game or the show. That's why the challenges aren't so amazing.
yeah. Yeah, that
So
makes
that's like the
sense.
best time to get information on the other players, I think, is what the challenges are for.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, okay, and so then the mission ends, and it's revealed that we're not gonna know who the seer is until after the round table. And the seer is not gonna get to see until after the round table. So what if the seer gets banished and this whole mission was for nothing?
Yeah, we call
That was a
that.
big miss for me.
Yeah, especially the episode is called The Power of the Seer.
Right. It's like the seer had no power this episode.
There is no seer this episode.
Yeah. Especially since next week is finale. It just felt like a miss to me, even though the episode still like slays mama.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like the seer is just gonna go home probably. Well, I guess we can get to that, dissect it when we get to the round table. But one thing we forgot to talk about, Alan's outfit.
He looks so
Thoughts?
good.
I loved it. I was obsessed with the like the, I don't even know what you call it, like the ribbing on the outside, the gold pattern.
Yeah. How much do you think his outfit budget is this season?
I don't know, like it depends where they're coming from and who's making them. Because if they're all like designer things, then that's expensive. But if it's like somebody behind the scenes just making costumes, then I guess they probably would have a high salary because they're good. It's
Yeah.
hard to
I feel like
know.
we're looking at a couple hundred grand of outfits at this point.
Yeah, I would think.
Um well, and then the other thing we learn, and this they always say this, but like it's becoming more clear. We learn the prize pot is currently at like $166,000, which is not that good.
Well, I feel like in these shows they usually ramp it up right at the end. They're gonna be like, "This game next was for $50,000," unless they're done with games. I don't know.
Well, next week is the finale. I think there's maybe one more, but like,
Because I would think they're probably trying to get it to 200,000. Like that seems to be the new 100,000 game show reward.
yeah, but like, okay, if they split it, even if they have to split it 3 ways, it's like not very much money.
But I think that's also part of the game is like trying to screw the other people out. Like at the end, the faithfuls become traitors to try to like get more of the money.
Yeah, but I think best case scenario is like you're splitting it with 2 people,
Yeah.
but most likely 3.
I mean, again, like we talked about it before, like do they really need the money that bad?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Well, like yeah, the ones that are left. I guess Danielle's got a lot of grandchildren, so
Hilarious. Um. Okay, so we go back to the castle, and there's some more conversations before the round table. Um, Gabby and Dylan talk, and they agree to go after Danielle. Um, and then Danielle gets Dylan alone, and he's really under her spell a little bit in a surprising way.
yeah. He seems like just a really empathetic person, and that's why I think Danielle's emotional game works so well on him, to a point.
Yeah,
um,
100%.
but that's also
So
why I said I think he's gotten screwed over by every single traitor so far.
yeah,
They've literally like emotionally manipulated him into getting mostly their way.
yeah,
I think he's finally wised up this time.
yeah. I agree with that. Um, he does tell Danielle that he is suspicious of her and that her name is coming up tonight and that it's really between her and Gabby for who's going home.
Yeah.
Um, and she goes, "Wow, okay."
I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to say besides act surprised and like make try to make him feel bad was like kind of her tactic, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean all you can do is say like, "Well, that sucks. I'm a faithful, and I'm gonna do my best to prove it."
Yeah. I mean, I do think her number's kind of up, but we'll see how it goes.
We will indeed. Um. Okay, and so then now we go to the round table. And it is crazy to see, like, we're down to 6 people, and this round table that was so full. They're all now full, like, arms length away from each other.
Yeah.
And it starts with Brittney and Danielle going after Gabby.
Yes. I was truly impressed with Gabby's performance
Oh, yeah.
because every single tiny thing Danielle said to Gabby, she absolutely shut it down.
She did amazing. Everything was like, from Danielle, was like, well, I'm a faithful. And Gabby was like, same. It's
Yeah.
like, she did a great job of making all of Danielle's arguments nullified.
Yeah. Like Danielle was like at the beginning, you were basically only friends with the Bambi posse, or did Brittany say that? I don't remember. And they were like, and you didn't have like any other strong connections, and she's just like, okay.
Who else was in the Bambi posse?
Chriselle and Nikki.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It would be so fun to be part of a clique called the Bambi Posse. I could only dream.
Yeah, I feel like it was like an insult though.
Yeah, sure. Everything's an insult or a compliment depending on how you take it.
Yeah. Um,
I could
I
tell
thought it
you,
was.
you look beefy, and you could be insulted or thrilled.
Oh well, I'm thrilled.
See?
Thank you so much.
um. Yeah.
I thought Gabby gave amazing face this episode. Like there was a hole to fill after Carolyn left,
Yeah.
and Gabby really stepped up. especially when to go back to the conversations, Danielle was like sitting on the couch just like sleeping. And Gabby was giving amazing face to the camera.
Oh my god. Um well, one of the things that she says is or she reveals that she heard Danielle and Carolyn behind the door when they had to murder her in plain sight. So she's pretty much
Yeah.
known Danielle as a traitor like for weeks. And she pulls that out. She posted a TikTok. Um
Yeah,
did you send me the TikTok?
I did.
So
Just
you've seen it.
recently. I am aware. Yeah, she said that she was like saving this information till the right moment, which I think is super smart.
It is super smart. And Gabby goes, I'm not dumb.
Oh my god, that was amazing when Danielle called her like the girl next door. And that what did she say? I didn't say I was dumb. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Danielle has to know it's all over.
I think so. She just didn't have a good argument, which she shouldn't, because she is a traitor.
Yeah. And then Miss Dolores has a different theory.
Her mind, it amazes me.
It doesn't have to be another girl. Ivar. uh,
Her reasoning was Bob. It's so funny how she goes and Bob the Queen.
yeah,
It's
because
like
she can't
drag
say the
is
whole
not
name.
a dirty word. Um. Anyways, Bob the Queen voted for you twice, and that's suspicious to me. That's like a decent argument, like 5 episodes ago.
It's kind of funny though because it's like, isn't the argument like if a traitor's voting for me, it's because I'm a faithful?
Well, especially like back then.
Yeah, like they can't all be traitor on traitor violence all the time.
Right, there's
There'd be
not
no
75
traitors left.
traders. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Um, but we have this amazing moment where, like, this was where you saw the good gameplay of Brittany and Danielle. They figure out quickly that Dolores is going to go after Ivar, and they figure out and make eye contact, and both agree to go after Ivar, which I thought was
yeah.
really like, wow, that impressed me much.
I mean, I don't know if that's what really happened. Like, it's super easy to say ahead of time. Like, if literally anybody else's name comes up, you latch on because then you have 3 votes immediately.
Yeah,
But
but either
as I,
way,
I
it's
said to
smart.
you, I think if they did banish Ivar, it makes them look immediately suspicious. Because for one, they both went in on Gabby and then immediately pivot to Ivar, and then
Yeah,
he's a faithful and he's gone, and they look stupid.
you're right about that. It also, I know, but at that point, they're like down to final five.
So yeah, here's my question to you: is like, what do you think Brittany should have done? Because the whole episode, me and my girly pack Bambi friends were screaming at Brittany, saying she needs to screw Danielle over. Like she should never have like been trying to work with her because Danielle was already on her way out.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think, but clearly, like, whatever went down between them is really, really affected her to the point where she's like, it seems like keeping her relationship with Danielle healthy and not going after her is more important to her than winning the game.
Yeah, but like we missed this moment where Brittany tries to go basically beg Ivar for his vote, and she like breaks down and she's like, I can't vote for Danielle, like I just can't do it. And he's like, honey, it's just a game.
I
And
know.
Brittany's like, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to work with this man?
Oh my god, 100%.
So I think she is
Um,
invested in not screwing Danielle over again. But at the same time, like, I think she just needs to throw the vote and just keep her mouth quiet. Just let
yeah,
Danielle go down on her own. And all
I
she has
agree
to
with
say
that.
is like, "There's nothing else I could do. I didn't want to compromise my position in the game." So she didn't necessarily have to vote for Danielle, but just vote Dolores and just be like, or whoever, and be like, "I just couldn't vote for Danielle."
Yeah. Well, I think what's so crazy is like, and someone else, I saw a meme about this, but like, it seemed like Gabby was going to go. It seemed like there were 4 votes against her. And it's just incredible that she argued her way and didn't get a single vote.
I
And to your
know.
point, Brittany could have easily voted for Gabby and been like, you had a great argument, but I'm still like suspicious of you.
Yeah. So it's a tough game. Um, Let me see. So Dolores opens the window to Ivar. Danielle and Brittany immediately latch on because that's Danielle's literal only other option since it seems
Yeah.
nobody's going Gabby. Um, and then they vote. So Ivar votes Danielle. Dolores votes for Ivar. Classic. Danielle latches on for Ivar. Gabby goes Danielle. Britt goes Ivar because she has to latch on with Danielle. And then the deciding vote goes down to Dylan, who picks Danielle. And so it's 3-3, a tie. Never happened on this season before. So Alan says we're gonna do one last plea from each of the traitors, and then we're gonna vote again, or not the traitors, sorry, the accused, whatever you want to call them. And then we're gonna vote again, but Ivar and Danielle don't get to vote. So um, Ivar says basically, it's frankly stupid if you vote for me. Like, you all know I'm faithful. I've never lied. I have no reason to lie. I couldn't lie. So you're dumb if you vote for me. It's a waste.
Mm-hmm.
And then Danielle just literally begs directly to Dylan, like, really trying to play on the emotional strings and just says, like, please don't do it. I don't know what other move she has to play at this point.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It is crazy that Dylan is always the final vote. Like, how do they have it set up? I mean, it's clearly produced that way, but it is so funny that he's always the deciding vote.
Yeah. Well, I think they know they probably have cameras seeing what they're writing, and then they can do the order in a way that's dramatic.
Oh, right. It's very
Yeah,
Survivor.
exactly. They change the vote order to make it dramatic.
Oh, that makes sense. Because they have to go
So
in a circle, so they have to start somewhere. That's very
yeah,
smart. Wow, you really get this.
I I need to just have my own show, frankly.
Can I be on it?
Yeah, you could be the host or the contestant.
Okay. Let's just figure out what the show is, and then I'll let you know which one
Okay,
is more
we'll work on
appealing to me.
it. So they make their pleas. Brittany looks like she's actually going to throw up all over the table
Yeah.
because she's clearly like deciding to screw Danielle over again or not.
Yeah. Well, and Danielle's was
She,
just basically like, I'm a faithful. Like, okay.
yeah. I mean, like you said, she has no other arguments to make because she is the traitor. There's nothing left. Um, Brittany says that she looks at Dolores, and Dolores looks up at her, looks at Danielle, and nods her head. So Brittany is like, okay, Dolores is swapping her vote to Danielle. So if I don't want it to be a tie again, I also need to go to Danielle. I rewatched the roundtable and they showed the clip of Dolores doing it. And I think Brittany completely misread it because she really just kind of looks like like not really making eye contact with Brittney, like not looking at Danielle, just like thinking and then
Right.
deciding to herself, like, yes, let's just do it.
Right. And also, like, knowing what we know about Dolores, like, it's clear that there's probably the wheels weren't spinning
Yeah,
the way they were for Brittany.
exactly. So Brittney looks like she's gonna literally die. She writes down her vote. Um, let's see. This time, I think they actually started with Dylan. So there's only 4 people voting. Danielle and Ivar are not voting. So they start with
Mm-hmm.
Dylan. He votes Danielle. He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm taking the emotion out of it." Smart boy. And I'm sticking with the evidence, which is Danielle. Um, Next we go to Dolores, and she says, "I'm keeping my vote." Ivar, and we get the absolute face crack of the century from Brittany. uh, Gabby votes Dolores, and then the deciding vote goes to Brittany. Wait, did I write that wrong? Gabby doesn't vote Dolores; she votes Danielle.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then we end on the cliffhanger of Brittany about to reveal her vote, and we were gagged. We all screamed at the TV.
Yes! No, it was just an incredible episode because so much happened, and yet we know almost nothing different than we knew like 2 days ago.
The only thing that's happened is Tom is gone.
Yeah. Tom is gone, and we know that the most likely scenario is Danielle is gone. And we know that if it's a tie, there's not going to be any more votes. It's going to be a game of chance to decide who goes home.
Yeah.
What do you think they'll do? Flip a coin?
It's probably something like that. I think the best TV would be what Brittany swaps to Danielle and it's a tie. And then they do the chance and Danielle stays. That would be the best TV.
That would be amazing TV. But also, it will
So
be amazing TV if Danielle goes.
if if they do the chance and it's Danielle.
Or if Brittany, like, it's going to be good TV no matter what happens.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is if Brittany flips on Danielle, it's the tie, right? So if she stays Ivar, then Ivar goes home.
No,
Is that right?
no, that's wrong. Dolores is the only one who voted Ivar. Dylan voted for Danielle, and Gabby voted for Danielle. And then the fourth
Oh,
vote is Brittany. So if Brittany flips on
gotcha, gotcha.
Danielle, Danielle goes home.
That would be yeah. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
That would be the best TV.
Yeah.
If it turns out to
I
be a tie, that will be like decent TV because the game of chance will be funny, but it won't have the same personal dramas.
yeah. I just feel like it doesn't matter what, they're gonna get Danielle out. So I really think Brittany should have jumped ship.
Yeah, there's no way Danielle wins this game. I don't think.
Unless they can somehow keep the two of them together as like a solid block that's never gonna get I don't know. Because if they get
Uh,
Ivor out, then there's how many people left? There's
th-
5,
then
right?
it's down to 5, and so it's just if Dolores is gonna vote with Danielle and Brittany.
Yeah,
And she is a wild card. We have zero idea what she will do.
that is true. Man, ugh, it's such a good round table.
It was a great episode. And so next week is the finale, which is crazy. So we'll
Yeah,
open next week's episode and we'll learn who is the final 5. And then, yeah, I think there will be one more mission. And then I think they all stand around a fire pit and they all debate and vote people out. And they won't know who is a traitor or a faithful.
yeah.
It's going to be great TV.
I'm excited because I've never watched the show, so I've yet to see what is it like the Fire of Truth.
Oh,
So,
fun. You're gonna like it.
I don't know. Do you think Dolores makes it?
To the final 5 or to the final
Well,
3?
like to the end, because like I think it's hard to say like who's gonna win, the traitors or the faithful, but like who do you think would be in the last group of people when they stop?
I think the final 3 or 4. Oh, good question.
Because
I
who's
think
gonna
it'll
vote
definitely.
Dolores out?
Yeah.
Like I don't think Dylan or Gabby would turn on Dolores.
I think they might because I think her
And if
gameplay has
Ivar
been.
is still there,
Yeah, her gameplay has been so confusing that I just think that like maybe they'll get rid of her.
they've had it.
Well, because the housewives theory never came back up that I've been spouting for weeks on this podcast, but you know, all 3 housewives were gone and she stayed. So that is suspicious of her. And then her votes have never made sense. So from a traitor being confusing perspective, like there is a good argument against her, I think.
I just don't know if they'll have it in them. Because, like, so in my opinion, you're stupid if Danielle and Brittney don't get voted out because they were ride or dies together. So, like, you absolutely have to take them out. And
Yeah.
then all that would be left is maybe Ivar, Dolores, Gabby, and Dylan. Like, I just don't see them turning on each other.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I guess so. I guess though, like in the end, if you really want to win, you have to make sure you keep cutting to at least 2 or 3, just to have better odds. It would be stupid not to.
Yeah, because if a single traitor remains, they win the whole prize pot. So you gotta cut anyone with a reasonable suspicion, I think.
Yeah. So, all right, I'd love to see a Dylan Gabby win.
That would
Love
be
to see
really
them come
fun.
together.
I
They're like
agree.
to me the breakout stars of the season. Like,
I agree with that.
um, so I hope they win. Gabby's obviously been through a lot, so I hope she
And
comes out on top.
and she's still thriving.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned next week. We will have I think we'll have multiple releases because we will have a finale episode and we will have a reunion episode.
Okay. Big commitment for us that I'm just finding out about.
Well, I said I think, so maybe not. I think we have to do separate ones.
You could think that, but you could also be wrong.
Okay. So stay
I
tuned.
mean, we'll see. I'm sure it'll be fun.
And we're also gonna have an Oscars themed episode next Thursday. This Thursday. Thursday.
Yes.
So lots of exciting things happening on the con side of things.
Truly. Big week for Cont.
Huge. Well, thank you all for listening and watching. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And you can follow us on Instagram at, well, we never plug the pod Instagram at Baby That's Cont, and our personals, Jojo_Patron and Queen Kip.
We're also on TikTok if you're still on the Forbidden app, so you can find us there as well. And new episodes come out every Tuesday and
And some
Thursday,
Thursdays.
Saturday. All right. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week or
Bye.
on Thursday.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.